So in my first video about license plates, I showed how to easily do these top ones with lag bolts. And it's got some holes down here on my license plate where it's got these nubs that hold that on. And I showed how I got those in there with this. But you'll notice for the bottom ones, there is no good spot to put it. But I thought I might make another video and show that maybe this is where people, if they don't want to buy one of those special kits, they just simply have to drill through and get, it's a little bit of thickness of the drill. So let me show you the parts you're going to need to secure the bottom part of this. So you're probably going to need 2 carriage bolts, and how long they're going to be depends on how far into your car, how thick it is there. And I suggest a big couple of washers, a couple of nuts, some grommets. Now if you're lucky enough that you've got a long enough drill bit, you're good. And if you've got a drill bit to make the hole big enough, then you're good for put the grommets in. I wasn't, so I actually had to buy it, so I spent a little bit more on this dumb project than I thought I was. But one thing I had to do is I drilled through this to try to see how long I wanted my carriage bolts to be. So that's how long it is. Turns out that I needed ones about that long, and they didn't have any of the right length, so I got ones a little bit too long. But I did get drilled through on the one side, and now I've simply got to drill through on this other side. One thing I will caution you about is I think I drilled at an angle where I was drilling this way a little bit. I think that if I drill pushing the drill bit down, and bend it a little bit that way, I'll do better on this side. So let me drill that out. What I'm saying is, see, you can take the drill and whatever angle I'm going to go at, and I think what I want to do, of course it should be as straight an angle as possible, but I think if anything I want to tilt it up a little bit to get a little higher up on the inside. So let me drill this out. I can't drill and hold the camera. I got that much better. See this one here, I may even, I don't know if I should re-drill that one or not. You know what, I'm actually going to re-drill that hole and fill this one in at some point, because I like it a little bit better further up on the trunk, so I'm going to drill another hole here. Okay, and I did that, so it's a little bit higher. I like that hole placement better than that other hole. Then you get your proper drill bit. What you want to do is check on your grommets. Grommets are going to have an inside dimension, an outside dimension, and then a grommet lip, the part. And the grommet lip on this is 3/8 inch, so that's how big these holes got to be. So what I need to do is take this license plate off and drill out both inside and outside holes and prime them and then put a grommet on it. Okay, so with the license plate removed, you can see I've got my spot holes here and I've got my drill mounted, and what I need to do is drill these holes out to be able to fit the grommet. And before I put the grommet in, I will do a little bit of primer on there just so I never have a rust issue. And I do the same with these 2 holes here. And if you've got a little bit of sandpaper sitting about, you might just sand out those holes a little bit. Just kind of like that. Just make sure it's not too jagged. And see this, all the little medical particles down there? I wish I had a vacuum cleaner with me. I just used a piece of tape. Pick up as much of it on the piece of tape as I can, and that works pretty darn well. And the tape mopped that up pretty good. Wish I had a file with me, but I don't, so let me do the grommets now. But before I do the grommets, I got a little bit of spray epoxy, and what I'll do is I'm just going to spray it onto a little bit of a paper towel and use that just to kind of paint around in the holes. Just if there's any metal exposed, hopefully that'll keep it from rusting over time, and I think the grommets will help that too. So let me do that. So just kind of paint it around in the holes. This one, good, 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 good. And on this one, good. Good. Okay, good. Primed. Okay, and then we'll just let that dry, let the primer dry a little bit. Both inside and out. Looks like heck. But I think the primer will help in the long run. I can always paint that white if I care about it. It's in the inside of the car.
Okay, so that's dried a little bit. Now it's time to put the grommet in.
And that's always a little bit of fun. If you've ever done that, it's just kind of, you know, with a grommet, you can see it looks like a donut with a little sizzle right there. So I take a picture of it.
Once the grommet is in there, and it'll spin around just like that. So one side's on one side of the metal, the other side's on the other side of the metal, and that'll, yes, it'll keep it from rusting, I hope. So we'll just see how that goes. But it seemed like the right thing to do. It only costs a couple bucks more to put grommets on. So let me get the other three put on.
And once you get the grommet on, it's okay to stick the thing through and just kind of make sure you've got a good fitting on both sides and it's not all bound up. My experience with grommets. And, you know, make sure you don't push it through, and then make sure it spins around and it's good. One more to go. Okay. All the grommets are on. Very pleased with how that went. I think that'll be great. And now it's just time to simply put the plate back on and get the heck out of here. Okay, hilariously, these bottom bolts are just, they're way crazy too long. I don't know how I messed up that measurement, but oh well. That's a simple thing to do, to just pull them back out. But that is what it's going to look like with bolts on all four of these. And I'm telling you, I'm thinking people are going to move on and just steal somebody else's license plate when they do that. So let me get some washers on those. To fix these bolts back and get some about an inch shorter would probably be smart.
Out the next day and bought a couple more reasonably length bolts and bashed them in there.
So they're only coming out to there now. So just got to get those locked on there, and that's going to be a lot better than having that 5-incher on there. So that's done and good. And you know what else? For extra security, I've got these, I don't know if you can see it, maybe I'll take a picture of it. It's these lock nuts that have a little piece of plastic in there, and they make it really hard to unscrew, kind of hard to put on and very hard to take off. So if somebody does latch on to that carriage bolt, they're going to have a harder time getting that off. So we get those locked on. Okay, and I'm done with this project. With those lock nuts on there, nobody's going to be able to back those off from the other side. And I think I'm pretty good on this side too, with these bolts in there nice and snug, and on the top too. And, you know, the main thing is I'll be able to pull these off whenever I sell the car or whatever and pull the plate off. So I'm done here. I feel good about my plate, as secure as I want to mess with it.